on today's episode, we're over here at a pad that we built last summer. Didn't take any video of that. We was out here for like 6 days pushing dirt. This is the job that I actually built the water buffalo for, and didn't even get to use it because right before we got started, it rained like 3 or 4 inches for like 2 or 3 days. The only time it rained pretty much all summer, so the sand was soaked, so we didn't even have to use it. And we got about 1.5 inches of rain the other night in about an hour, so it really tested everything we've done around here. He's got a creek crossing. We got a bunch of surge in. We're going to build another dam on it because it's kind of running too fast. And some of the silt had washed down the side of the hill over here. I'll show you that in a minute. And it's pretty flat, so it wasn't getting a lot of runoff anyways as far as being able to drain, but it don't take very much to mess that up. So we're going to tune that up, and I got my co-pilot today. You ready to work finally?
Sure.
Yeah, he's out on Christmas break, so I recruited him. It shouldn't take very long. The deal on the dash says 25 degrees. It feels more like 40. It's not real cold, so we got the machines running, and we'll get out and start looking around. I hauled 2 loads of rock in here yesterday, a load of 12-inch and a load of 8, to tune up the washout areas. We'll shoot some video of that here in a second. Got to be 150, 200 foot wall. That's got to be 300 down there, and you can't see it behind the truck like that. Probably drops another 100 foot down there. Years and years of entertainment. So here's one corner of it. I don't remember what the measurements are. It's like 200 by 100 maybe, or 160 by 100, probably 8 foot of fill. But this is the one corner that all the water from that hard cut was run down in here, and it's kind of silted in right there, so it's not running around. I think it was originally, but probably wasn't very much. We ripped sandstone for days over here getting this ready, and he had a hard time getting the grass growing. And for the permits and everything, he had to get the grass growing before they finalize it. So I'm going to start. I'll bring the tilt bucket and take it down all the way around. That wellhead is about the center point, so everything on this side of the wellhead needs to run this way, and everything on that side needs to go that way. But he's still going to have some. I'm going to try to, because of the drive where it goes into the house in between the shop and here, so I'm going to have to cut right through this sod and going around. I'm afraid I'm probably going to hit sandstone, because I know it's there, but I'm going to try to do it with an excavator, just so it won't tear the ground up as bad, because of the dozer, it'll really mess it up. But we rip sand, it's down to one ripper. Like here's some of it right here. So we're going to have a pretty rough time of it. I'll show you the ditch up here. So here's the culvert that goes under his drive. I think it's like a 48-inch, maybe 36. But I cut another channel all the way across that to keep the water from running down that hill that comes down to there. And this is all held up pretty good. We're just going to throw some of that smaller stuff in there to lock it all together. Let's wash some of it out. And it's snowing. Hopefully we can get all this done today, get all the equipment home tonight. So this has actually held up pretty well for what we done. We just dumped some like 16 to 24 inch boulders in here, and they had some smaller stuff mixed in with it. I can't really see real good because of the grass, so we're just gonna kind of sprinkle some 8-inch in with it, and mainly down here on this edge right here, it's kind of caved in. Gonna wiggle this around, get it mashed down in there real good, and then we'll put that smaller rock in there to tune it up. You see the bucket seal, yeah. But overall, it's held up pretty good. An 1.5 inch rain that come down in less than an hour the other night. I bet that water was up to the top of that 10 point. That half-mile long job that I just done, the water was going over that road over a foot for like 200 feet. That guy, he's got a log jam in that creek, and it boiled out of the banks. I'll probably be back working on that, hopefully. There's a soft spot. That's the problem, is that water runs down behind that great big rock, and it washes out underneath it. And that's what everybody says, to put that felt down. But if that water gets under that felt and erodes it off, then you can't pack them rocks back down in there. So I don't really know what's better. But this is a good job for him today, because he can shuttle bus this around. He'll save me probably a couple hours having to mess with that. Dig through it, move it around. Try to stack it in here. Tune the other side up while he brings me some more. So I'm down here in this creek. I already knocked these trees down. I don't know why I didn't video it. I'm bad about that. So we're going to do kind of a waterfall right here. It transitions from a so up the stream. You can see that's where the tin horn comes through across the road, and right here it drops down about 2 foot. There used to be a pond back here where the skid steer's at and where that pile of dirt is, and we dug it out and pushed all that stuff around. That was the slop that was left, so we couldn't really mess with it. But there's a pretty big transition right here, about 2 foot, so the water's pouring down through here, and it's just washing all over his grass. So we're going to do basically a berm of that big rock. I'm going to cut a trench right through here, and we're going to go up, and that way it'll drop down about 2 foot, because if not, it's just going to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and it'll just keep washing out. So we'll dig this out and go from there. I'm going to tie it into this bank over here and make it higher than the water or the creek channel, because if you don't, what'll happen is the water will run around here. If you just went flat, the water would get up, cut that bank out right across through there, and just make a new creek channel. So I'm going to cut that back, build that up higher, and have him bring it around, and then I'll get down in here in a minute and push all this dirt back here. And this is where we're going to lay the rock in. I'll get in there and tune all that up in a minute. Take quite a bit of rock. Won't be that bad though.
we'll make it higher on the top and higher on this side, so it'll go through right in the middle before it's all said and done. I'll put enough dirt over here to smooth this out and make it look pretty. Been trying to snow. Keeps misting, freezing rain. Keep them coming. Tune this up. More yellow. Go from there to there. Event of a huge flood. Get a bunch more rock down here. I'm just gonna push some of this over here, like so we don't use so much rock. Trying to make it level with the existing creek that's up here upstream, which is going to be right about that height right there. I want it to be higher. I want the creek channel to be in the middle and this to fluctuate up. So I'm going to probably switch buckets, a tilt bucket, and clean that up while he's messing with that rock. So I went to switch the buckets. There's a little sliver of wood. That lock's stuck, so I'm gonna have to chisel that out and get that going before I can even get the tilt bucket on here. I got lucky and that bucket come off there so I could get to that piece of wood. That'd been a real pain. Try to get that out of there. So he's got enough rock here. I'm gonna build this up just a little bit. Push this around. And I'll sprinkle some smaller rock on top of it. Go over. The smaller rock will just lock it all in, kind of. Trash, that over there. Yeah. I'll put the tilt bucket on here and make this a lot better, but I'm just trying to get an idea of where we need to be on the rock. Two more. probably behind it. I'll put all this over here. Build this bank up. Make it look pretty. So the water run down, cascade over, and be gone. Inch. Still not used to driving my feet yet. I'm getting there though. Bucket on here and smooth this out. Man, that was a struggle. When I set this bucket at the house, it gets water in it. One of them fittings was in that water, and of course it was froze. How about never got it hooked up? Thought it had pressure on it, and I finally figured out. I seen some water coming out of it and realized it was frozen. Back to work. So I'm going to tune these slopes up, and put that 8-inch rock in here. It'll help hold these wings, like right there. Push all this over, smooth all this up. I won't do it all the way across, I'll just do it on the edges. I want to make it a little bit deeper in the center. That way the creek channel will kind of make its own ditch down to here. That's what we want. Try to clean this out a little bit. Man, these tilt buckets are awesome. Even if you got a small machine, these things are great. Take me, it'd be hard to do this with a skid steer. And if it's real muddy, you can work your way out of it. crazy with it because next time it rains, it'll push all that sand down from upstream and level this out. So I'll make sure I got enough dirt here to make these banks and everything. Out. So 8-inch. Keep them coming. So we got the 12, that'll hold it all together. And then put this 8 on top of it. I'm gonna make this a little bit smoother. I'm gonna have him drive over it this next go around. Tune all this up, and then we'll go on to the drainage problem, and then we'll start heading everything back home. See how he does. I'll move all that around. Put the rest over there. Yeah, you gotta learn somewhere. We'll probably do another half a load there, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. We'll get it all along these banks on the back side so it won't wash out, and then put about a 3-foot lip of the 8-inch, and then we'll move on to the drainage. It's all right. There. Smeared that around, call that good. So I'm gonna start cutting this right here, and try not to make too big of a mess. I don't think it'll be that hard until I hit the sandstone. It's gonna get a little rougher. I'm just gonna make me a pile so I can get it with the skid steer. 4 inches off, I should be fine. Some of this probably settled in, and I remember we probably didn't cut it enough. So when I bid this job, I really didn't charge him that much to spread all this, because I mean, we probably should have got this a little bit closer. What I'll do is I'll take the skid steer and follow that curve. I might get in there. I think we'll do this a little different. I'm gonna use my tilt blade and just cut both sides as a backup. Over a little bit more. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright. It's just a lot harder to see the slope when you do it like this. Save me from having to do it with a skid steer later. It's the beauty of the bucket. Definitely just about got this figured out. I can't wait to get a bigger machine. So I'm taking a little bit at a time out of here, just because he had such a hard time getting the grass growing. And I really need to bring the dozer over here and just recut it and bowl it out, but seeing how it's December, he'll never get grass to grow. So we're just going to make this rough, make sure the water's going, get it off the pad, and then when he builds his house, I'm sure I'll come back out, or whoever does final. So I was doing pretty good, and then I hit sandstone. So I'm gonna bust it up with this. Then I'll go back and here's the low water crossing, or little dam. It's about a 2 foot and a half drop right here. And you can see it's winter time. The sun is right above my finger. So the grass won't grow over here. So if you could get grass to grow here, you probably could just put grass in and not worry about it, but it's not going to hold. And then from here on, he'll be able to get Bermuda grass to hold really good. It should be fine, but that should hold for 200-year flood at least. So we'll go over here and look at the ditch on the other side. We got this all cut. Water should run on out of here pretty quick now. Got Dalton hauling that rock up to the hill where he's putting it at. He didn't really want to get too crazy with this. To make this look a little better, should come on up to about here. But it's December and he had a hard time getting the grass growing. They're going to start construction in about 2 months. So I told him the best option is to wait until after the construction zone and then come over and retune everything up, since he had such a hard time with his permit and everything. So on to the next project.